guys, it's your Drip King. I'm not really dripping right now, you know. I just got the necklace, the shirt, the clean shirt, the basketball shorts. Does not go anywhere with it, but nobody. Well, it does go with it. It's just that these basketball shorts are really saggy, and I can never keep them up for my mom and my dad's and my sister's life, and my life. Butt cheeks. That's besides the point. The point is we're here for another what if. But why am I so energetic? This is what if Natsu was able to get the zeref before, like, you know, Gray fought him, you know. So Gray fought him, so he wasn't able to get END to zeref, to kill zeref, you know, because, like, that would have made it way easier. So we're going to do the possibility of if Natsu got to zeref before Gray got to him. Now, let's get started. So, in this timeline, Natsu is in D&D form. After seeing Lucy's death, he is now furious and he's mad at Zeref. All because Zeref wanted Mavis so bad. His guild master, Natsu went through watching people die. Everybody's went through watching people die that they really care about. Loxus and some more. Including, he had to watch Lucy died, which pissed him off even the most out of all. Now, if you don't know, yes, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure Natsu has feelings for Lucy. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what END stands for Aetherius Natsu Dragneel, and, you know, his name is Natsu Dragneel. The only difference is, this is Aetherius version. Now, it's basically his dragon force in a way, due to the fact that, you know, he's, unlike the rest of them, he hasn't gotten and mastered dragon force. But that's besides the point. And obviously in this version, in the anime, Natsu loses END due to the, you know, the fact that, you know, he can either turn into a demon, a dragon, and he chose human, and he still kills me. I'm a human, but whatever. Okay. So the one on the screen that I'm showing you right now is the END that Natsu unlocked when he became half dragon in Dragon Cry, which is the movie, by the way. And clearly, as you can see, this is the one in the anime. Now, Natsu just walking, and he's walking slowly, saying, I need to kill Zeref. So, in this timeline, when he makes it to Zeref, instead of saying, this is our final goodbye, brother, big brother, in this timeline, he'll say, I'll kill you, Zeref, due to the fact that he hates Zeref, and he does it in the other timeline when he fought Gray, and Gray bought enough time, even though he didn't know. He bought enough time for Urza to show up, and Urza bought enough time for Lucy and Juvia to show up, which is those two are the only reasons why they started fighting in the first place, due to the people that they are in love with has died in front of them. Juvia getting killed by Gray's person that he was fighting, and then the person that Gray was fighting told Gray about the fact that Natsu is Aetherius, Natsu Dragneel, and seeing Lucy die made him Natsu and angered to, you know, want to fight Zeref. And cool and all, but they still ended up fighting due to circumstances of them running into each other and Gray not getting out of... Gray being a little butthole. All Natsu wanted to do was kill Zeref. It's not like... There's nothing wrong with him killing his brother, right? But Gray didn't like that, and he was like, so you kill all of these people. You kill my parents, even though Natsu killed, like, nobody. Because his dad said END did it, or his dad was setting out to kill END, and yes. Instead of Natsu pulling through with the power of friendship like in canon, while fighting Zeref, because, you know, power of friendship is basically everything in this show. I don't know why this is my favorite show. Favorite anime, but in general, entirely show, even though I like most anime more than, you know, cartoons and stuff. Like, Avatar: The Last Airbender is not the first thing I think of when I'm thinking about anime, because, you know, Avatar is not an anime. And I really hate when people get mad when people say Avatar's not an anime, because Avatar Anime is a Japanese culture. Now, to say that, oh, well, I'm not even gonna get on that topic. I'll save that for another video. But Natsu runs into his brother, Zeref. As Mavis and Natsu both see, Mavis and Zeref both see Natsu and END. Mavis is obviously surprised, and in this timeline, Lucy does not have the END book like in canon, and the fact that he doesn't have the END book, she doesn't have the END book. She can't rewrite the END book to make it to where Natsu doesn't die if he kills Zeref. So this fight will carry out as I'm about to say. Natsu and Zeref would get ready to fight, as Natsu would then power up and jump at Zeref. As Natsu would then punch Zeref right in the face, he would start beating on Zeref. This fight will go by way quicker, so Zeref will be like, okay, I gotta get Mavis's power now. And it's in canon he would absorb Mavis into him, which would give him this white, I think it's supposed to be godly, even though Zeref makes demons for a living. If I had to say, he's kind of the devil. Natsu's only a demon because he wanted... Well, I'll get into that after. Natsu and Zeref are even. Natsu's not even fighting straight due to the fact that he's not even in control. He's just swinging around. He's fighting good enough, knowing what he's doing, throwing fire around. And he's really, instead of in canon, he's burning down the guild hall, basically. No, Zeref isn't getting mollywopped, but at the same time, he isn't winning either. Natsu would continue fighting Zeref, as in someone would show. Instead of in canon, when Grey was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna seal up Zeref, and Natsu saves him like, oh, aren't we friends? Like, and Grey would turn on his power, joining in the fight. Natsu, they would team. Alright, sorry, I had to get that out of my system. As Grey would join in the fight, they would both be aiming for Natsu, but Natsu is able to hold his own. As Natsu's hit to the curbside, Grey would then tell Natsu this is the end for him, as he would power up an attack, yelling out Ice Make. As then Zeref would stop him. Zeref would then hit him onto the ground, as he would then start stomping on him, telling him, this is my fight with my brother. This is my fight with my brother. Just like what he did to his son. Or, well, it wasn't really his son. It's more like his stepson, but he still did, like, create him and stuff. Natsu's nephew, So, So, basically, Grey would be stepped on. As Natsu would get up and see this, he would then jump at Zeref with the opportunity. Zeref would then be hit in the stomach. He would continue attacking Zeref, as Zeref would continue getting beat. As two more people would show up. Or no, let's just say one. As Grey would join back in the fight, about to clash with Natsu. They would then hit each other. But instead of hitting each other, they hit Urza. As in canon, Urza would stop Natsu and Grey from fighting, which would then take both of them out of their form. As in canon, Urza would then pull them in, giving them a hug with her frozen and burnt hand from stopping them from fighting. After a little talking too, Natsu, Urza, and Grey would then stand in the pose as they did when they first fought together against their first Book of Zeref monster. I think, yeah, it was that flute. So, yeah. And they'd be like, Urza would be like, this brings back old memories. As they would then all charge at Zeref. Natsu would do most of the work due to the fact that he's the strongest there. With Grey coming in second and Urza coming in third. That may sound as a surprise to y'all. But Urza would not be able to keep up with Natsu and with both of them at full capacity. No, even with her at full capacity and Natsu still in the part where he unlocked E&D. Urza wouldn't be able to keep up with Natsu like Ray was. They would then take out Zeref with the bang. Now, I feel like I needed to make this what if because I watched Natsu versus Gray's fight again, and I was like, this fight was really unsatisfying, especially since it's gonna be the final Natsu versus Gray fight. If I was gonna see, if there was gonna be another season, I would very much hope there was gonna be another Natsu versus Gray fight. Definitely, Natsu versus Gray's battle before this was way better than the one that they had. But the final battle was still really good. It just wasn't satisfying to the end of the rivalry. Just like Natsu, of Natsu and Gray. Like, when it comes to an end of a rivalry, you got to do something like a bang with, like, let me think. Goku versus Vegeta at the end of Super, that was pretty good, and that's the latest one we have. But that was actually, even though it was a short one, it was really good. Or let's say DB, just DB time. Majin Vegeta versus Goku was definitely a really good end to the Goku versus Vegeta rivalry. Naruto versus Sasuke, at the final valley, the last time after the Great Ninja War. Fire, definitely recommend. Like, that was like, listen, I have high expectations for Fairy Tail, but not that high. All right, Fairy Tail's great, but I don't have more expectations than I do with Naruto, even though it's my favorite anime. Let me think of some more. Ichigo versus Byakuya. I'm gonna count Byakuya as Ichigo's rival because Ichigo really doesn't have one. When he fought Byakuya that final time, after all three of the times he fought, after all three of the times he fought him, I really think that was a good end to their rivalry. And every other rival, I want you to think of every other rivalry fight that you've seen and tell me that Natsu versus Gray is better than it. I could debate, but even though it's like one of my favorite fights, it was still not that satisfying to me due to the fact that it was so short and there was no real fighting. It just involved them talking and stuff. They were talking over the fight and all that. I would have just loved to see the base fight. There could have been a few scenes where they talk over it, but I would have loved to see another end to, like, obviously Urza. That was a great end, like perfect end. There are a few more. There could have been where it's just like the end. Like, think about it. Natsu versus Zeref, great fight. I recommend it. Go watch it. But it ended with Happy saving Natsu due to the fact that he found out that if Natsu kills Zeref, Natsu's gonna die if he kills Zeref. So I just thought that this what if was like more of like me wanting to do a what if than like something y'all guys would want to watch. I personally think that it's something I like, but if you don't like something like this, then I'm sorry. Yeah. There are a few more what ifs coming your way, by the way, so this don't think this is the last one. I just thought that it would be good to say something and do this what if. And guys, another thing is I'm probably not going to be having any more outros. And I had to change my intro music, so it's not as good as it was. If you want to go see my original intro, go check out my TikTok or whatever. I don't even know. I'm probably not going to put it in the description. Go to my last video. But, yeah. I hope you guys like it. Be sure to slam that like button. And I'm going to go turn on my fan because it's mad hot in this joint. So I'll see you people next time. Smell like bald head, people. Don't get your girl pregnant if she's under 9. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace. And by the way, don't ask about like the under 9 thing. I just came up with that off the top of my head. Leave me alone.